have a theory I want to run by you. I'm going to read it actually so that I don't mess up. So one of the therapists that I've spoken to for this series has talked a lot about the stories that we tell ourselves. We all tell ourselves stories and they get in our way all the time at work. My boss called a 4 p.m. meeting, I'm getting fired, right?
Yeah.
Don't know if that's true, but that's how it's making me feel. And that if a lot of our sort of collective anxiety about what AI means for us as workers, as professionals, is actually less about AI and more about the incredible lack of trust, faith in us, layoffs by email, corporate America treating people badly for many decades, and that AI just seems like maybe the final nail in the right. This is all part of a story that we have been feeling. You said writers' rooms have already been getting smaller, right? Staff are already stretched thin. And so why wouldn't corporate America take another technical advancement to get rid of us if they could?
Yeah, I think that argument, there's some real teeth to that argument. It feels right.
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack in that argument. It depends on where you are in your career for that argument to really grab you. And I think particularly for younger people who already feel somewhat disposable, or people in entry level positions at their companies who already feel like they will be the first to go or be the first to turn over, or that they're doing essentially commodity work, that feels very powerful, right? And it should. And then what's really interesting is I know a lot of lawyers. I was a lawyer, I'm married to a lawyer, and they're even the partners are like, yeah, we kind of do the same thing every time. Like, we're just a therapist for our clients, and like the actual mechanism of the transaction or the litigation or whatever is pretty rote. Lots of big law firms, if a big company sues on a big company, you end up paying a big law firm a ton of money for something called document review, where basically a bunch of 26 or 27-year-old first-year associates sit in a basement for a year just reading stuff to see what they can sue you over, right? Like that is the foundation of the big litigation industry. Well, it's like, that's a horrible job, and most first year associates don't like it. And be a computer do it faster and probably more accurately. But will it actually find the twists and the turns that maybe a first year associate who's trying to move up in the world finds? I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think there's kind of a lot in there, right? There's this thesis that actually AI might impact the white collar jobs first, because the big law firm that hires the AI to do the doc review will be cheaper than the big law firm that hires 100 first-year associates, and that means the partner salaries might go up or down. Like, you don't know. So I think there's all these effects of what happens when the computers can communicate in language. And what we don't know is whether the computers can actually reason, whether they can actually solve problems in a consistent way, whether they can be trusted, whether we are liable for their outputs. The legal system just has not contended with what happens if the chatbot on the car dealership website offers you the car for free. A real thing that has already happened, right? And you're like, well, that was a lie.
Yes.
Like, let's stop that.
Didn't the guy get